Anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and switch tacks here real quick because we are now getting to playing Curse of Blackmoor Manor. I'm not ready to call it a night, so we are going to go ahead and play it. Why is my dashboard freaking hating me right now? I'm gonna go ahead and edit the stream description here. Oops. Spell that. There we go. Those who know will know. There we go. I don't know why none of the pictures are loading for me, but all right, we're officially moving on to Blackmoor Manor. At this point, we've got that done. I'm going to go ahead and turn those two sources off, turn those two on. It didn't work. Turn those two on. There we go. I'm going to go back here, hit this button, hit this button, hit that play button, and in-game go. Okay, so a little bit of backstory with Blackmoor Manor. This is one of the first games that I played. This is one of the first Nancy Drew games that I played. It's not the first. That was Secret of the Scarlet Hand, like I mentioned. But this is one of the first, because if there is anything that has defined a lot of my life, it is being what is described, apparently, as a teaboo. If you don't know what that is, first of all, you need to know what a weeaboo is, which is someone who is kind of obsessed with an idea of Japanese culture, right? It's very much this weird, toxic idealism and very cringe. But a teaboo is just like a weeaboo, but instead of Japan, it's England. Hence teaboo. Which when I found out about that term, I died. Because, oh my god, I finally found something to describe what I was like when I was a fucking teenager. And so, yeah, I was obsessed with England, and I was obsessed with everything English, and therefore this game called my name. Like, it called me, it grabbed me by the throat and said, you need to play this. Because it takes place in England, and it is Nancy Drew, and I had a great time with Nancy Drew, so this is one of the first games that I played of the Nancy Drew series. Unfortunately, I am also a scaredy cat. I cannot take any level of horror. Jump scares fucking ruin me. Creeping dread kind of feelings just absolutely destroy me. This game, in my humble opinion, is the first Nancy Drew game to actually be scary. And I was relentlessly made fun of by my friends who played this with me, my childhood best friends. Like, they relentlessly teased me over the fact that I was scared by some of the things in this game because they thought it was silly in some of these things. And I'm not gonna lie, the things are in here that happen. They are silly. They're kind of dumb, especially the thing that I used to get the most scared of, which I will not name. We'll let it happen. We'll let it play out. The thing at this point is I might be so desensitized because I know enough of this game that I know what's going to happen when it happens. I don't know exactly when it will happen, so I can't anticipate it exactly, but it might be well known to me enough that I'll be fine. I'm not sure. So we'll see what this is like. This is not the only Nancy Drew game that has scared me, though. There are two others that come to mind immediately, at least. One of which, this is not even the scariest, I would say. That goes to another game later on, which, yeah, I will probably still scream during that one. This one is like a 50-50 at this point. I might be desensitized enough that I am able to get through without freaking out, but the other one, that one I might actually fucking die. We'll find out. Ooh, goodness, I'm sorry. That yawn came out of very much nowhere.
Welcome to my latest case, the curse of...
Let's go.
Dear Ned, greetings from jolly old England.
Oh, she said the thing.
I'm not so sure about the jolly part. That's because I'm on my way to Blackmoor Manor, where the daughter of one of our neighbors is living. The daughter, whose name is Linda, recently married...
God, that is such a 90s looking photo.
Hugh travels a lot, so the only people at the manor with Linda are Hugh's aunt, Mrs. Drake, and Hugh's 12-year-old daughter, Jane. The thing is, ever since Linda moved into the manor, her health has gone downhill. She's practically bedridden, and no one seems to know why. Her mother is convinced something is terribly wrong and wants me to find out what. So here I am, about to be dropped off at a huge centuries-old mansion in the middle of a dark, foggy moor. I can't tell whether the butterflies in my stomach are because I'm excited or just a tad creeped out. Talk to you soon. I hope. Nancy.
Night, miss, and good luck.
Yeah, prepare for some really A+ English accents in this, by the way. I love how these lights on the side, too, are super fucking modern. But just saying.
Nancy. Who's there? Hello?
Okay, yep. Still getting shivers down my spine.
Where, child?
Over there! I mean, something was out there.
Come in.
Yeah, no, you're all gonna just make fun of me about this. I totally know. I'm getting chills down my spine. Fuck!
You were Nancy Drew?
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Something, Mrs. Drake? I heard something, too.
Oh, people are always seeing and hearing things on the moor at night, especially you Americans. Why don't you just go on up to your room? It's the one with the moon on the door.
I'd like to see Linda, if I could.
I'm afraid Linda is, not quite ready to meet with you just now. But please, come see me after you've unpacked. I'll be in the conservatory.
All right, thank you.
Well, we're in the thing now, and here we go. So, a hearty congratulations. Okay, whatever. Does that mean I don't have to talk to them? Phone plan doesn't allow you to travel. Get fucked. Something skin cancer.
This is the Drew residence. Please leave a message at the beep.
Hi, Hannah. Bye, Hannah.
Taking up precious space on the fucking answering machine.
You have reached the Petrovs. No one can come to the phone right now. Feel free to either leave a message or call back. Thank you.
Hello, Mrs. Petrov. It's Nancy Drew. I just arrived at Blackmoor Manor. Why don't you give me a call when you get the chance? Bye.
Hello?
Hi, Ned.
Hey, Nancy.
Just wanted to let you know I got here safely.
So how's Blackmoor Manor?
A little on the spooky side.
And what has Detective Drew discovered so far?
Just calling to say hi. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll be waiting.
Fuck off. Okay. Yeesh.
I'm sorry, I cannot take your call right now. Either leave me a message at the embassy or call me back later. Thank you.
Okay. Well, no one wants to talk to me. Nothing to be said there. Okay, we're done with all that, I guess. Well, that's a puzzle for some other time, I think. A lot of astronomy-related things in this room.
John Penvillin.
In a faraway place beside a pond since gone dry, there lived a frog named Granny. Granny was content to live by himself and never ventured into the pond, for back then it was a fearsome place full of crocodiles that lurked beneath the surface, just waiting for a tasty little morsel like Granny to swim by. But one day a beautiful princess appeared on the other side of the pond. Like Granny, she was by herself, for she had been unfairly banished from her father's kingdom. Rude. Sometimes at night Granny could hear her singing sad songs and talking to herself out of loneliness. He longed to swim across the pond so they could keep each other, blah, blah, blah. Crocodiles would eat him. He croaked. Water fairy did the thing. And there's a thing. Water, earth, fire, air. Oh boy, alchemy. Here we go. Let me just write down my new notes. Curse of Blackmoor Manor. Earth, wind, and fire? Do you remember? 21st night of September? There we go. You will not have to swim, so I shall make a path for you, and don't forget, crocodiles tend to hide in the middle of the pond and near trees, but they hate boats. That's very weirdly specific. And a bright red key. That's weird. That feels like it's a hint. Can't read any of the books for once. Alright, well, I guess we'll go talk to What's-Her-Face down in the thing.
Oh, Ethel, do I have to learn this?
Yes, I'm afraid you do.
If I do well, can we play a game?
Yes, but only in French.
Oh.
Oh, forget it. Stay in Italy as long as you want, then. Some kind of husband you're proving to be. It's not all in my head. Don't bother.
Linda? Hi, it's me, Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew, our friendly neighborhood detective. Well, welcome to Blackmoor Manor. I apologize for greeting you under such unusual circumstances.
So, how are you feeling?
How am I feeling? Well, I feel like... I feel like something really strange is happening.
Okay.
Could you be more specific?
Could I be more specific? Ah, the ace detective is grilling me for details. I'm tired all the time, my mouth is dry, my vision is blurry, but that's not important. Here's what's important, Nancy. There are some doors that should never be opened. There are some doors that hold secrets which must never be known. That's everything you need to know. Now if...
Mummy, can I come in?
No. You're supposed to be in your lessons.
Lessons are over. I want to meet Nancy.
I said no, Jane.
Okay.
That was my stepdaughter. She can be such a pest sometimes. Anyway, I understand you feel an obligation to my mother, but trust me, there's nothing you can do. You're welcome to stay, but I strongly recommend that you go home as soon as possible.
Please, Linda, just tell me what's wrong. Linda? Okay, I'll let you rest, but I'll be back. I'm here for you if you need me.
Alright then. This is a good start. Here we go. Everything's still covered with things like... Oh, she looks so happy in every one of these photos.
There goes my cell phone. Hello?
Hi, Nancy. It's Mrs. Petrov. How is everything? Have you seen Linda yet?
Literally speaking, no, but I did talk to her. Not that she told me anything.
I'm just about at my wit's end. I've never known her to act like this. The last doctor that examined her said that aside from a little dry skin, which is not unusual for her, she was perfectly fine.
Why is she hiding behind that curtain?
I have no idea. When I was out there last week, I got fed up and pulled the curtain back. She threw a fit, but otherwise she looked absolutely normal. A little pale, perhaps, but who wouldn't be pale, cooped up like that? Something has changed her. Something in that house. Hugh is just as bewildered and upset by her behavior as I am. Please get to the bottom of this, Nancy. You're our last hope.
Where is Hugh?
He was called to Rome. As a diplomat, he's always being called out of the country without warning and without any say in the matter. He'd much rather be there with Linda, although...
Although what?
It's just that Hugh said it hasn't been very easy for him to talk to her lately. Whenever he calls, which is at least once a day, Linda always seems to fly off the handle for no reason, which doesn't make sense. Linda has always been extremely level-headed and even-tempered. She never gets angry. At least...
Something has changed within me.
Mrs. Drake.
Something is not the same.
Manor ever since her brother died.
I'm tired of playing by the rules of someone else's game. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics off the top of my head. Too late for second guesses. Too late to... No. Yeah, no, I don't remember the lyrics from that point. I don't got it.
In what way?
The way she spends all her time in that conservatory, slouching around, trowel in hand, murmuring to herself. You'd think she was burying something. Or somebody.
Goodbye, Mrs. Petrov.
Goodbye, Nancy.
Yeah, there you go.
One more thing. My niece is on call and her husband's out of town, and I told her I'd go over there and babysit if she had to work. So if you call and I don't answer, that's why. Bye.
Okay. Welcome to the Grand Hall. I can't remember where the conservatory is. There we go. And welcome to the conservatory. You can tell why I liked this game. Neo-Gothic architecture. Pretty fucking cool.
A carnivorous plant. Cool.
Shall we take a closer look? Monk.
That's probably not a good idea.
It's a big fucking carnivorous plant.
All settled in? Good. I'm happy that you're visiting Linda, but I know how much you teenagers like your televisions and loud stereos, so I must insist that you act respectfully and civilly while...
Televisions and loud
My nephew
stereos.
Hugh is away on business. I am in charge of this household, and if there's one thing I cannot stand, it's noise. Hugh's daughter Jane is staying with us and would very much like to meet you, but please try not to distract her. She has her studies and mustn't be disturbed during her lessons.
Is anyone else staying here?
We do not have any permanent house staff, if that's what you mean. The Penvillans have always been self-reliant. We get on quite well without being continuously mollycoddled by a squadron of insipid, gossiping ne'er-do-wells. Now,
AKA,
two other house guests.
we're too poor.
Mr. Nigel Mukherjee, who is researching the Penvillan family history in the library, and Ethel Bossany, Jane's tutor.
What is Jane studying?
What every British schoolgirl needs to know. All of her schooling in the States has left her with, shall we say, a cultural deficit. She's in capable hands now.
See, it's kind of funny that she says that schooling in the state has left her with a cultural deficit. Because while on some level I agree with her to the fact that there are certain regions in the United States that have terrible schools, British schools are not much better. From what I have understood, thanks to TikTok, funny enough, is that Europeans are just about as, you know, in public schooling at least, are just about as under-resourced when it comes to education as we are. And they can be remarkably ignorant. In fact, maybe even more so because of the cultural superiority that they tend to feel. That is an interesting phenomenon that I have been terribly interested to keep following along with. I know none of you are from Europe, so I can speak kind of plainly here, but like, it is bizarre to me watching European fully grown adults that have already left school, have degrees, stuff like this, arguing with Americans over our weather and our country about things that we very much know more about than they do. Like one of the ones that keeps coming up almost every time there's some kind of weather disaster here in the United States is like, you know, a tornado will hit the Midwest and there'll be a bunch of videos showing the tornado or, you know, people talking about the damage after it or whatever, and then a bunch of Europeans hopping in the comments being like, why don't you just build your houses out of stone? That's what we do over here, because if I don't know why I'm putting on a Valley Girl accent, that's a little much. But they're basically making the argument that like, oh, well, if you just make it out of stone, isn't that good enough? Like, you know, if it's made out of stone, then it won't get picked up and destroyed every time there's a little bit of wind or something. And it's like, the strongest tornado that mainland Europe has ever really had to deal with was like an EF2, right? And we broke the scale. We broke the scale. We literally had the Fujita scale and we broke it to make a new scale, because our tornadoes are just that strong. And you get to a certain point with like EF4s and 5s that it doesn't matter what material that building is made out of, it's getting picked up. And so do you want wood flying through the air or bricks? Pick one, you know? The other one that kind of came up relatively recently was someone from Buffalo, from Buffalo, talking about how a recent snowstorm had left a little bit of damage to her chimney. Now, if any of you don't know about what it's like in Buffalo and like the New York, along the Great Lakes, it is constant snow. The lake effect snow there gets into the like dozens of feet yearly, and that's regular. Like Buffalo generally gets, I think, somewhere around like 20 feet of snow. And that's not even the worst of it. Like some of the worst of it can be in like Oswego, for instance, a little further up the Great Lake. And we're talking like almost 30 feet or something ridiculous like that, right? regularly throughout the whole winter. That's how much snow they get. And so, you know, this one creator was talking about how she had a little bit of water damage with her chimney or something, and then there was a whole bunch of European experts suddenly jumping on about being how the snow can't be that bad, and you stupid Americans with your houses aren't, good enough to withstand a little bit of snow. And it's like, no, it's a lot of snow, and any structure under that much snow is going to have some problems. And like, they kept digging in and arguing. It's like, no, we get just as much snow here in Europe as you get there. But and like, not understanding the concept that the Great Lakes, while they are called lakes, are essentially freshwater seas, like, not understanding that part. Like, what the... And hold on. That's not helpful. That's not what I want. Yeah. Like, Lake Huron and Lake Michigan together are like 45,000 square miles. Which I think is larger than some European countries. Like, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Yeah, there's songs. Exactly. There's songs about how deadly the lakes are. And like, these people are not getting into their heads that we are talking about inland freshwater seas. So the snow that comes off of them, lake effect snow, is so much and so heavy that, yeah, it's more than anything you're going to find in Europe. And someone tried to make the assertion that parts of Norway get just as much snow, and then listed that place. The creator again went to debunk it, showing like their average annual snowfall is only like this much or whatever. And then like here in the United States, it's, over 20 feet in Buffalo. And like over there, it was basically like 3 feet or whatever. And they argued again, saying that's not right. It's X meters or whatever it was, right? And it's like suddenly realizing that, oh, these people have no idea and concept of how much 1 foot is compared to 1 meter. Like, they can't do the conversion in their heads. At which point I'm sitting there being like, listen, I know that the United States is weird because we still use the imperial system and we still measure things in miles and feet and inches and shit. But like, I know how to do that conversion on the fly. 3 feet is approximately a meter. Bam, done. I was taught this in school. They were not. Like, it was just very much like, you aren't better than us. Stop acting like you are, please. You have a lot more history. That much I will give you. That's all I will give you. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else.
Do you know why Linda refuses to let anyone see her?
I don't know, and the doctors don't know. No one seems to know anything. All I've been told is that Linda is unwell and that in her stead, I must look after matters. Now, please, I really do not have time to entertain you. You may have the run of the house, but do not break anything, and refrain from mucking about with items that aren't yours. 2 rules Jane seems incapable of following. And before I forget, our kitchen is being remodeled, so our dining situation is rather unorthodox. I've made arrangements with a local restaurant to deliver meals to us. There should be a programmed number for them on the phone in your room. Feel free to order whatever you'd like.
I'm concerned about that thing I saw outside.
It was purely your imagination, unless you saw a stray dog. But I will not countenance any histrionics about this issue. We have enough to worry about with Linda. And please do not get any ideas about going outside to investigate. I do not want you tracking mud all over this house.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
AKA, you are not going to leave. And yeah, it's definitely the case.
Ah!
Nailed it. And she's dead. No? Oh, I thought there was a little thing. Well.
Who's hungry? Who's ready for some nummies?
Did you say something, Mrs. Drake?
Not to you, dear.
Okay.
Doesn't work. Looks like John Pendleton may have developed some of the plants that are in here himself.
Ah, yes. Are you here from the agency? It's about time.
No, I'm Nancy Drew, a friend of Linda's.
How do you do? I'm Nigel Mukherjee. I'm researching the Penvillin family, and Mrs. Drake has graciously opened the library for me. Nothing much has been written about the Penvillins. Until now.
Why do you think that is?
It might have something to do with their scandalous history. Or perhaps it has something to do with the family treasure.
Scandalous history?
Well, having a family member burned as a witch can hardly be considered a mark of pride, I dare say.
Ha! The witch!
And then there's the whole business with the Blackmoor beast.
Who was the family member?
Eleanor Penvillin, tried and convicted of witchcraft in 1650. Quite the height of the witch trials here in Essex. It was rumored that Cromwell arranged the conviction.
We're not going to ask about Cromwell because I know who Cromwell is. He's a bastard.
But she wasn't actually a witch?
Who knows? Lady Penvillin was a rather vocal critic of Cromwell's policies and helped many of his enemies flee the country. Whether she actually was a practitioner of witchcraft is unknown, although many visitors to the manor during her tenure reported hearing strange, ghostly bells. Some even saw phantom hands floating about the manor, tolling their charmed chimes.
All right, you're having a fun time with that storytelling there, aren't you, Nigel? Notes from James and his victory bell. The screech, though. It doesn't have the screech. Or the eyes. It needs googly eyes. That's what it needs.
Tell me about the Penvillin family treasure.
For centuries, the Penvillins have been very secretive. Some believe they're protectors of a fabulous treasure, or of some dark secret.
Can you tell me about the Blackmoor beast?
It's a story that's been told for generations out here. During the 1600s, many of the villagers reported seeing a strange beast with red eyes and giant fangs prowling the moors. They asked the mistress of Blackmoor Manor, Eleanor Penvillin, to put a bounty on the beast's head. But, oddly enough, she not only refused, she forbade anyone from hunting the creature. It was rumored that the beast was Eleanor's husband, whom she had cursed for finding out too much about the Penvillin secret.
When I was walking up to the house, I saw something with red eyes that called out to me.
Really? How extraordinary. Are you sure it wasn't just jet lag?
Positive, and I heard it make this kind of growling sound.
Perhaps it was the cursed husband of Eleanor Penvillin, prowling about the moors in search of lost Yanks.
Very funny.
Yeah, I know, right? This is very Hound of Baskerville's moment. Also, Exposition Man here, by the way.
What are all those paintings of in the Great Hall?
Those are the Penvillins who owned Blackmoor Manor at one time or another.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Tally-ho!
Tally-ho.
Fascinating piece, isn't it? James Penvillin sculpted it in 1591, although it appears that wand was added at a later date. He was quite a flamboyant figure and never married, but one day, a child appeared quite mysteriously in the castle, and he took her in as his own. That was Eleanor, and many of the townfolk believed her to be a changeling or fairy baby.
So he was very flamboyant and never married. Be pride, everyone, from your 16th century babe. I know, right? You picked it up too. I mean, it wasn't exactly subtle. Law books from the 16th century, you know, 1500s law.
Of interest in there. They're mainly law books. Charles Penvillin was a prominent judge in the 16th century. Sad to say, he lost his son at a young age, left his estate to his grandson, Thomas. Interesting. I'm researching Philippe Penvelin, and it appears that many scholars believe he was a pirate. That would explain his source of wealth.
I thought you said that not much had been written about the Penvelins, because if you're finding stuff written by scholars, then there's been stuff written about the Penvelins. Just saying.
Those manuscripts are very old and brittle. They date back to the 14th century. Odo Penvelin collected most of them. His father, Randolph, and son Milo were rather more interested in military victories than in book collecting.
Okay, so these are apparently manuscripts from the 1300s and 1400s. Please tell me why, then, they look like Victorian leather-bound volumes. Like... Also, why aren't they being stored in a much better space? Like, just lots of problems. Lots of problems.
À tes souhaits.
Merci.
Do you mind if I use this computer?
No, not at all. But it's very old. Feel free to use mine if I'm not here.
Who's Alan?
Alan Penvelin was a noted researcher in computers and languages. Jane let me into his computer, but there was nothing much of interest on it.
What's the password?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Oops.
Those are mainly Penelope Penvelin's collections of French novels. She was a patron to a raft of artists, and her salon was quite popular. She was quite the libertine, even kept her maiden name after her marriage.
Gasp. In the 1700s, too? Well, not much to check out here. Bye, then. Newman Lumen? Newman Lumen. That is... Is that Harry Lair? No, maybe not. I thought I recognized that painting. Thought it was Harry Lair. But apparently not. Mistake. In recognition of Brigitte Penvelin, sponsor of the Essex Cricket Club, 1751.
Wonder what happened in there.
And the fire damage. Oh, good. Now, her I recognize. That is a painting by John Singer Sargent. Hold on. There you are. Is it Lady Agnew? On. Yep, Lady Agnew of Lochnaw. That's right. Painting of Gertrude Agnew, the wife of Sir Andrew Agnew, 9th Baronet of Lochnaw. Painting was commissioned in 1892 and completed the same year by American portrait artist John Singer Sargent. Currently owned by the Scottish National Gallery in Edinburgh. Um... Okay, yeah, nothing else terribly interesting to say about it, but the fact that I recognize the painting, because I'm a nerd. Listen, the Gilded Age is like a thing for me. Ah, she's fun. Not sure what I'm doing here. Oh. Ah, okay, so it's basically a Go Fish game. And then I get one. She's gonna ask. Nope, it's still my turn. Okay, because it's Go Fish, duh. Turn, bitch. Ah. Oh, killing me here. Wow. Ah, she got one from me. You just asked that from me, darling. Nope. Ooh, did we just fill out another one? Oh, I win again. Oh, yeah. Eat it. Okay, yeah, I was to say, she doesn't have anything else that I've asked for. But Euterpe, she does have. Euterpe? Brain. These are the muses. Most of them are the muses. I think there might be more than the muses are. Nope. Bonk. No! Crap. Stop taking my shit. Ah, fuck, I thought she had that. Oh, we got another one. Still don't have it, bitch. Ah, ruined. Alright, Betty, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Ah, she's gonna win at the last fucking second. Boo. Fuck you, Betty. Playing again. I'm gonna win. How dare you? Okay, what do we got? Well, in terms of it's an obvious question to start with, so unfortunately, that is a no. Nope again. Ugh. It's not going well here. Here we go. Have a good night. I don't think the scary stuff happens quite yet, so there is that. Mostly just have to scream at Betty here. I win. One thing. Two things. Aha! Damn. Nope. How dare you, bitch. I will gladly take that off your hands, thank you. Thank you. Fuck. Damn it. I win by default. We are tied right now. Damn it! Fuck. There goes my lead.
Sorry, Betty. You
Oh,
lose.
wait, you lose? Okay. I win this time. But I don't win anything? Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Hello, Nancy.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Goodbye.
These constant intrusions are most irksome.
Do you know what the password is for the computer in the library?
No, that was my brother's toy.
Goodbye.
The pleasure is all mine, child.
It doesn't sound like it's pleasure, but okay.
Hi, you must be Nancy. I'm so pleased you're here. I'm Jane. I know you've come to visit my stepmom, but I'd love it if you could pop by whenever you get the chance. Oh, we'll have such fun. Let's play a game.
Sure, Jane. What would you like to play?
Let's play this card game I found in your room. Actually, it's Bridget's room. I mean, it used to be her room. I mean, she died like 300 years ago. You can see a painting of her in the Great Hall. She's the one with the telescope. Okay, so you have to match up a pair of constellations. I made all the matches in 25 tries. Try to beat my record.
Jane is fucking annoying. Nope.
Good show, but you didn't beat my score.
Fuck off.
It was fun, but I'd like to ask you some questions.
Sure, what do you want to know? About Mummy? I mean, Linda. I do hope you'll help. She's been a bit out of sorts lately.
Do you know why she doesn't want to be?
Yeah, she's creepy as fuck.
I think maybe it's because of the lady in black. I was playing in Mummy's room when she wasn't there, and when I looked up, there was a lady all dressed in black putting something on Mummy's nightstand.
The woman left something?
The lady put a note on Mummy's nightstand, but I didn't read it. That's when Mummy started feeling poorly. I don't want to think about that. Let's play a game. It will cheer me up.
Let's see if cheering you up will get you more talking.
Look inside the chest over there and pick a game. My great-aunt said it's a hope chest, so I put my games in there in the hope someone would come over to play. We can play Bull, Constellation Match, Petroglyph Punch, Skull and Bones, and I also have a jigsaw puzzle.
You sure have a lot of games.
I love games. I want to make computer games when I grow up.
What is this?
How about a game of Petroglyph Punch?
This is a game I bought in Arizona. You have to make as many matches as possible. On your mark, get set, go!
So it's... Okay. This is basically riffing on the petroglyphs from the last game. And it's just make matches. Aha. Gotcha. Probably could have done better than that. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba. There we go. Shit. Oh no, I'm having a moment. Oh no! Let's hit the shuffle button, because when you have a moment, just shuffle it, and then eventually you'll start seeing patterns again, right? This didn't work. Not seeing matches of 3 here. Must be, though. Alright, I'm going to start just putting things together, because eventually something will pop out, right? It's not, though. Okay. Okay, I see one now. Here we go, we're good. But you can keep going, it's fine, it's alright. Okay. Well, I win, so.
You're so very good.
Have you ever seen anything strange outside?
Once I saw my Uncle Roger's toupee fly off during a windstorm. Talk about freaky.
I mean, have you seen a strange animal outside?
No, but I have heard weird noises like this. Howling. But not like a dog howling, more like something human. I don't want to think about that. It's scary enough having to live in this gloomy place.
Do you think there's a treasure hidden around here?
I highly doubt it. I mean, if there were, wouldn't someone have already found it? When I asked Ethel about it, she said that it's the Penvillain name and heritage that should be treasured. Blech.
Do you know what the password is for the computer in the library?
Yes, but I won't tell. Not unless you beat me at Skull and Bones.
Okay, here we go.
My friend Hugo bought this for me.
It's through all the
like
fucking
fish,
games.
But you have to collect 3 of a kind of weird things like zombies and ghosts. You go first.
This is the second game of Go Fish that there is in this game.
Do you have any spiders?
Here you go.
Do you have any coffins?
Dig. Do you have any skulls?
All yours.
Do you have any skulls?
Sorry. Do you have any witches?
Go dig. Tombstones?
You're going to have to go dig. Do you have any bones?
Here you go.
Do you have any haunted houses?
Nada. Would you happen to have any ghosts?
Go dig. Do you have any coffins?
Go dig. Would you happen to have any ghosts?
Get out your shovel. Do you have any skulls?
Here you go.
That's a match.
Get fucked.
Do you have any spiders?
Dig. Do you have any zombies?
Sorry. Do you have any bats?
Sorry.
I got a match.
Oh, you did? Oh, spiders.
Houses?
All yours.
Would you happen to have any ghosts?
You're going to have to go dig. You got a match. Good for you. Do you have any coffins?
Sorry. Any haunted houses?
You're going to have to go dig. A match? You're doing great. Do you have any zombies?
You're doing great.
That's a match. Do you have any bones?
Go dig. Tombstones?
All yours. You got a match. Good for you.
Any bats?
All yours.
Any bats?
Afraid not. A match? You're doing great.
A match? You're doing great.
Coffins?
Here you go.
I got a match. Do you have any bones?
Dig.
I got a match.
Your witches, please?
Damn it.
I win.
But I win anyway, so
You
get
won.
fucked.
Good job. Okay, the password for my grandfather's computer is on his coat of arms, plain as day.
The lady in black you saw in Linda's room, did she look like anyone you know?
Like I said before, I couldn't really see her face, but she was kind of dressed like the lady in the Great Hall.
Which lady?
Eleanor. I know it sounds weird, that's why I didn't want to tell anyone. It's too creepy. Sometimes wonder if I just dreamed it all up. Mrs. Drake is always saying I have a rampant imagination.
I should get going.
Ta-ta!
So she's your aunt, or your great aunt, and you refer to her as Mrs. Drake.
That's my family tree. Ask me anything about anyone. Go on, ask me.
Who was Agatha?
She was a nun. I think she lived in Ireland.
Tell me about Albert.
He was very mysterious, and the people of Blackmoor were afraid of him because he knew all these scientific things. No one knows much about him, though.
Tell me about Randolph.
Randolph the Red, so named for his bright red hair, was considered a hero at the Battle of Poitiers. For his heroism, King Edward III awarded him with the lands in the region called Penvillain. That's how we got our name.
Odo, that's an odd name.
Yeah, he isn't very exciting, really. Like farming and cows. His son Milo is much more interesting.
What about Milo?
Milo inherited not only his grandfather's red hair, but his military prowess. Milo was instrumental in the siege of Caen and was awarded even more lands by Henry V.
And Hugo?
He had a lot of kids, and his dates were 1401 to 1466.
Alright, he was just a breeder, basically.
Who was Anor?
He was Odo's brother.
Tell me about Simon.
He lived from 1358 to 1412. No, 1411. We don't know very much about him.
Who was Marjorie?
She died when she was a little girl. It was really sad.
What about Jacobus?
He died when he was like 9.
What do you know about Cecilia?
She married the Lord of Limerick and did a lot of needlework. She had a ton of kids too, like 20! Can you imagine?
You're just popping them out, alright.
What did Guido do?
He made pizza. No, I'm joking, of course. I don't know anything about him except that he died in 1433 because he outlived all of his siblings.
Who was Joseph, Josephus?
Yeah, they used a lot of Latin names back then and weird spellings. He became like a priest or parson or something.
Who was Robertus?
He was a knight but died in some kind of jousting tournament. He was twins with Josephus.
Who was Anisha?
A nun.
Who was Jeanette?
It's Genet. I think he wrote plays, maybe. I don't know, I forget.
Tell me about Lucia.
Isn't that a pretty name? If I have a daughter, I'll name her that.
Who was Joan? Is that misspelled?
No, that's how they spelled it then. She got married to this duke somewhere in Flanders.
Who was Adam?
Like he married Eve. Duh, no kidding. I actually don't know anything about him. I think he was the son of Hugo, though, but I forget.
Alright, well, let's keep going down the hill.
Tell me about Edmund.
He was into cows. He did a lot of breeding of cows and sheep and got some kind of award from the king.
Who was Nicolina?
She died when she was a baby. I have many ancestors who died young, but Ethel said that Penvillans in general live a long time.
Tell me about Walter.
He was born in 1448 or 9. I'm kind of bored doing this right now.
Who was Marge?
I forget. I think she was... I don't know.
Who was Charles?
Oh, Charles was a famous judge and wrote very important books on law. But his boy, Garrett, drowned while he was really young.
Speaking of...
Tell me about Garrett.
He drowned on his 19th birthday.
Who was Gillian?
She married the Duke of Ballingsford, but she stayed at Blackmoor to raise her son Thomas, who inherited the estate when his grandfather Charles died.
Tell me about Thomas.
He was Charles's grandson and wrote a lot of poetry. He also had 3 wives, Catherine, Anne, and Mary. But not like at the same time. They died and he just remarried.
Who's James?
He never married, but one day, when he was very old, a baby was found at the doorstep to the manor. He took her in and raised her as his own. That was Eleanor.
He's the gay one.
What did Francis do?
He got into a big fight with his brother James and lived in France.
Homophobic.
Who was Elizabeth?
Like the Queen of England? Oh, you mean Elizabeth, my ancestor. It's weird that she's the only ancestor named Elizabeth, since it's such a popular name.
Tell me about Geoffrey.
I'd rather not. I'm kind of bored. Wouldn't you rather play a game?
Tell me about
Geoffrey.
Geoffrey.
Are you just gonna say...
Okay. I'm kind of bored. Wouldn't you rather play a game?
Can you tell me about George, the one born in 1566?
He lived and died. End of story.
Alright, well, let's get to the big question mark. Eleanor.
What can you tell me about Eleanor?
Just that she was burned as a witch, but it wasn't true, and her father, James, died when he saw her die. And then the family fled to France. I don't want to talk about this.
Who was Edward?
He lived in France with his father, Le Comte de Roquefort. He was very interested in languages and translated books from Greek and Latin.
Who was Virginie?
She was married to the Duke of Barrowbold and died in the Great Fire of London.
Tell me about Francois.
He was a dwarf and became a trusted confidant to Louis XIV. Little people often held positions of great esteem at that time.
Tell me about Corbin.
I don't know. He doesn't have a coat of arms in the Great Hall because he didn't live here. Wasn't even a British subject, that's all I know.
What about Colin?
Oh, this is so cool. They say he was a spy for England, even though he lived in France. Isn't that so very? I'd like to be a spy.
Who was Frederic?
He was a soldier for the French. He was killed in the War of Spanish Succession in July of 1702.
Who was Helene?
Can we stop soon? Helene married the Duke of Bouville and died in 1760. End of story.
She's getting really bitchy about this.
And Philippe?
He made a fortune in the New World and bought back most of the lands that were confiscated by Cromwell.
Who was Théophile?
He lived most of his life on the island of Mauritius and discovered like 1 million plant species.
Tell me about Brigitte, the one who was born in the 17th century.
She was absolutely mad about cricket, the game, not the insect. She actually saw the first cricket match in 1744. Personally, though, I can't stand the sport.
It looks like George and his brother Henri died in the same year. What happened?
They were lost at sea. I guess they traveled a lot to Canada, especially to Oak Island.
It looks like George and his brother Henri died in the same year.
Didn't realize it was going to be the same thing.
They were lost at sea. I guess they traveled a lot to Canada, especially to Oak Island.
Who's Penelope?
I don't know much about her except that she was very loved by practically everyone in England, and there were 1 million poems written about her. If I have a boyfriend, I'd never let him write a poem about me. Blech.
Who's Marianne?
She got shipwrecked on this deserted island with a whole bunch of yahoos, and they wrote a story about it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no big deal.
Jean.
Hello, it's pronounced Jean. He was killed by a boar on a hunting trip. They eat people's flesh, you know? No, I'm kidding. But he really did get killed by a boar. Serves him right, though, for hunting some poor little animal.
Tell me about Martha.
She was completely daft. She'd wear really bizarre outfits, and she was one of the first women to ride on a steam train.
Who was the first steam train?
What do you know about John?
He was an opera singer, just like my mom. He sang in some Mozart operas, I think.
So, 1802? Yeah, I think there's a bit of a problem with this one. Steam trains didn't come around until the 19th century, and she died in 1791. She couldn't have been on a steam train, just saying.
Tell me about Brigitte, the one born in 1759.
She never married and was bonkers for astronomy. She adopted her sister's son, Richard, who later got killed at Waterloo.
Who was Peter?
Let's see. He had a wooden leg, and he was attacked by wolves once. That's all I remember.
Who was born in 1763?
That was Isabel. She wrote many letters about the French Revolution, and actually saw Marat's dead body in the bathtub. Talk about gross!
Who was Jacques?
Don't laugh, but he invented the lawnmower bag in 1831. I swear, I'm totally not making this up.
Lawnmower bag? Really?
Tell me about Richard.
He died in Waterloo fighting against Napoleon.
Tell me about Edward, the one from the 19th century.
He was a big explorer and went all over the world. He wasn't very close with his son, who was also an explorer. They'd only see each other by chance in weird remote places like Samarkand and Walla Walla.
Who was Caroline?
Caroline was a chemist and helped identify the element lanthanum. I'm not sure what the element does. I think it's a heavy metal.
Who was the William who died so young?
He was Edward's little brother. He named his son after him.
Who was William?
He was an explorer, just like his father. He was kind of a whiner, so I heard.
Were Cassandra and Hector twins?
Uh-huh. Cassandra was totally obsessed with lawn tennis and was one of the first people in England to have a court installed at her home. Hector was the first ball boy.
I love that.
Who was Cynthia?
I don't know. I'm kind of tired right now.
Wow, Catherine sure lived for a long time.
She lived the longest of any pen villain. I hope I live that long, but not if I'm all, like, creaky and cranky.
Damn, 1851 to 1952? Yeah, that's a fucking long time.
What did Sophia do?
She was
99 years old.
Impressionist artwork, but most of it was destroyed in a fire.
Tell me about Arthur.
He lived in the Wild West in the Americas and was a bandit with El Diablo's gang.
Tell me about Rose.
It's a real sad story. She and her granddaughter Rachel lived in France during the war and were killed.
Who was John, the one who was born in 1873?
He was this huge naturalist and did a lot of exploration in the Amazon. I think there's a plant named after him. Or maybe a monkey, I forget.
Tell me about Obadiah.
He lived in the U.S. for most of his life and married this weird woman named Eustacia. She's still alive and sometimes calls us. She's totally creepy.
Oh, Eustacia. She's wonderful. You shut your mouth. We love you, Stacia, in this household.
Who was Rachel?
She died in France during the war. I guess she worked for the French resistance.
Who was Esther?
Esther Pemberlin Romberg, born in 1897 and died in 1951. Her friends called her Polly.
What did Nahum do?
He died in the flu epidemic.
Who is Malachi?
He was a doctor of medicine and did a lot of research on icky skin diseases. Happily, I'm blessed with perfect skin.
Just wait till you hit teenage years, darling.
Who is Alan?
He was my grandfather, but I didn't know him because he died when I was little. I guess he was nice.
What do you know about Letitia?
Loves plants, hates noise. You can ask her about it. She's usually in the conservatory with her plants.
And that's the whole family. Promise I'm done. Runes. Okay. We'll deal with that when we come to it, I suppose. I'm sure it's important, but it is not right now. Book on monsters.
When I was in the library once, I think he was hoping it would scare me, but it didn't. I'm too smart to believe in that sort of stuff.
Leave at us. University of Manhattan. Very detailed. Why?
This phone number just might come in handy.
Sure. Werewolves. Talk about werewolves
I
now.
use that to make cakes for Loulou the parrot. That's why the ingredients are so nasty. Like I would eat mealworms. Aren't you glad we don't have to use that thing to cook our food?
I saw the kitchen. What happened to it?
I guess you could say I happened to it, but it was Ethel's fault. She inspired me to study the oxidation rates of different kinds of cookie doughs. Only my snickerdoodle experiment got away from me.
Rip.
Who's this?
That's my mum, my real mum. She's an opera singer. It's not like she's famous or anything, but she does live in Paris.
What is this book?
Don't know really. Ethel gave it to me. She said it belonged to my grandfather. Do you think Brady Armstrong is cute?
Oh, we're bringing that old hat back. Well, those are... Okay, this is a thing. Oh. I'm sure these will matter. Whoa. Okay, go back to the last one. Madame Butterfly.
That was written by Charles Pemberlin way back in like the 1500s. When I read it, it seemed really familiar, you know?
I'm sure that will become important at some point. But it is not right now.
I totally love that show. Isn't Brady Armstrong so dreamy? Total hottie.
Okay, sure. Fine. Whatever.
You had a guinea pig?
Yes, but it died.
When?
I don't know. I'd really rather not think about it, all right?
Looks like you're learning some interesting stuff.
Bet you wouldn't say that if you were the one who had to learn it.
There's a thing that happens with this. Hold on. Eventually. Eventually. Oh, this really does take a while, doesn't it? Oop. Something was just dropped into my inventory. And it is an Easter egg. Haha. Good. Okay.
I need the key.
Spooky noises. Time for the best part of this game.
Oh, it's just a parrot.
Scared ya?
No, you didn't.
Did you? Did you?
What's your name?
Loulou! 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 Loulou!
Okay, I get the point. Loulou.
Loulou! 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 Loulou!
Do you by any chance know Latin?
Quiste rogabit, bene vidi vici, semper ubi sub ubi, morituris detus.
I'll
Semper ubi sububi, it always comes back.
Would you mind translating something for me?
Fire away!
We're gonna ask the bird to translate things, but here we are.
Momentum exit.
Garbage out.
Garbage out. I'll write that down because that's actually...
Don't leave me! I love you! Polly is a stupid bird! Polly is a stupid bird!
Alright, well, we know the password here.
Welcome, my adventurous friend. Don't tell my sister, but there are ghosts in Blackmoor Manor. 13 of them to be exact. The problem is they're very shy, so they only come out when it's very late at night, usually just after midnight, and even then they only show up in quiet places, like the Great Hall, and the hallways and the conservatory. What's worse, they'll only come out for a very short period of time. But if you can find and touch all 13 ghosts in the time you're allotted, come back here and I'll give you a prize, one which I guarantee you'll enjoy. So who's ready to go on a ghost hunt? Oh dear, my watch tells me that the ghosts are not likely to show up right now. Come back between midnight and 4 a.m. Farewell till then.
Let's do some snooping. Nigel.txt. Intrigued by what you've learned so far. Blackmoor, good work. Could see this is the bestseller if you deliver the goods, or should I say goodies? Ludmilla. Huh. Holland's Great Hall, most curious. Greek deity. Orban's secret room in France. Mercury column. How his key has held in hand. Persuading Mercury to the north and lift his eyes sky with a wand key be released. Huh. The threat, army, blah 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 blah, give them land. Rumor of Penvillin magic stone. Ah. 1400s, son of Hugo, Milo's son studied alchemy, used a dragon to symbolize the Athenor. Apparently built, didn't say where he built it, and I cannot find it. You know, Charles Penvillin, prominent rebel, such a judge. 1600, James Penvillin never marries, yet baby Eleanor suddenly appears in his household, sparking rumors that she is a fairy baby. They are accused of being a witch. Scrutinize everything. James is so much just touched to find out where she came from. And then his son Edward, raised by the sister Le Comfort. Delphi's son Corbin never set foot in Blackmoor. Evelyn was once again known and respected for being rich and powerful. 1775, Philip's daughter Penelope commissioned artisan Jacques Jacques de Valcasson to create a card-playing automaton named Betty, which still exists in random just several games of cards. Betty reminds me of the game I played in the States called Go Fish. I already figured that out. I already beat her because she's a bitch. Fuck Betty. Chapter 8, late 1700s, Bridget Penfillin, Penelope's granddaughter, studied astronomy and astrology, repeatedly self-taught since male teachers were apparently intimidated by her intelligence. The notebook she refers to in the letter to her sister. Oh my god, really? Again? Mid-1800s, Edward Penfillin traveled extensively in India and the Middle East. Journal indicates spent little time at Blackmoor with his wife and children. Images on Edward's coat of arms are more curious. Each one seems to be showing some sort of direction. Jester running to the right, guard with spear pointing up, crowned figure motioning to the right, etc. 1900s, John won many plant hybridizing awards, brought Loulou back from the Amazon. His son Malachi raced cards. Malachi's son Alan used Loulou to write his dissertation on linguistics and animal communication. Dig up dirt on Hugh Penfillin. Dirt. Dirt? Curious. What time is it anyway? 21:34. Not quite midnight.
Yes?
The picture book in Jane's room. Do you know much about its history?
My brother Alan found it somewhere in the house. He was quite fascinated by it, but he'd never let me look at it.
What was your brother Alan like?
He was quite remarkable. He taught linguistics and computer science and won many prestigious awards. He loved games, especially pranks, and was forever tinkering with this and that. I do miss him sometimes, but now he's gone. He died a month after my husband passed away, and ever since I've been here all alone. Until Hugh came back from the United States, that is.
Can you tell me about Loulou?
Loulou is a very old parrot. She must be over 80 years old. Please be very careful with her, especially if you feed her. Parrots have quite delicate constitutions, you know.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm sorry to bother you again, but Jane told me about the lady in black.
What lady in black? Jane never said anything to me about a lady in black. That kid is so weird. I just don't get her.
Did you receive a note or something that's upset you?
I did receive something. But it's none of your concern. You can't help me, and that's that. I'm sorry.
Linda, you have to give me a chance. Everyone is so worried about you. If you just tell me what's happened, maybe I could help. Linda, I made a promise to your mother and I plan to keep it. I'm here for you when you need me.
Oh, she's gonna be a boatload of help and fun. Okay. So what we have, bling, whoop, wah. I'm gonna write these down. Bling, whoop, wah. Blooding, whoop. Blooding, whoop. Wah, bang. Bang. Okay. Then I just need to figure out which one's which. A is whoop, so... B is bling. C is blooding. D is wah. Wah. And E is bang. Alright. Let's back away. Start, so it's B-A-D-C-A-D-E. B-A-D-C-A-D-E. A, D, E, E. Hey, we got a thing. I don't know what this does, but we got it. I mean, it's just kind of obvious that that's some kind of pattern. Ergo, we have now done something to the pattern. We have a meme. Oh boy. Alright, let's set an alarm for 12 a.m. and we'll try this ghost thing. This will probably be the last thing we do, based on the fact that it is already past 11. I also hate this, so I want to just do it.
Okay. Remember, you mustn't waste any time. Our little chums won't stay visible for long. So, on your mark, get set, go!
I'm trying to remember where they all are. Oop, I just saw one. Yes.
Got one. Three down, 10 to go.
Oh, good, they make noises too. Perfect.
Felicity! The door! The door! The time has come.
I need the key.
For closing books.
Okay, and then the conservatory, I believe. How we doing, Nancy? I would love to have a count right now. Just saying. Not here? Not there. Okay. Ah. Don't fuck with that.
Try feeding it something.
That is a carnivorous plant, and they hurt, apparently.
Ten down, 3 to go.
Only 3 left. Where's the rest of them? Fuck. Shoot. I'm lost. Okay. Apparently it's still... we still have time. Trying to find all of them.
I'd better stay inside. If I track mud in the house, Mrs. Drake will kill me.
Is there something up the stairs, maybe? Nope.
The time has
I need the key.
come
I need the key.
Who's the pretty bird in the mirror?
Yeah, I'm officially lost.
Sorry, time's up.
Yep, there it is.
You weren't quite fast enough
Okay.
for our bashful little friends.
This one bothers me, so we are going to do it again.
So who's ready to go on a ghost hunt?
Oh, I messed up. Ghost hunt, please. Alan's computer? Oh, wait. Ugh, come on. 13 ghost game. Here we go. Four in the Great Hall, 3 in the downstairs hall, 2 in the conservatory, 3 in the upstairs hall, and 1 at the top of the spiral staircase. Okay. Alright, let's try this again.
Remember, you mustn't waste any time. Our little chums won't stay visible for long. So, on your mark, get set, go!
Leave the library. Turn to the right. And there's the one right outside the door. Do a U-turn and go forward to the hallway. Turn left and go as close to as possible to the cricket trophy. U-turn, ghost on the left wall. I think I might have missed that one. Forward to the kitchen door. Do a U-turn, click on the ghost there. Okay. And then U-turn and go as far away from the cricket trophy. There we go. Fuck. Forward and left through the door into the Great Hall. Do a U-turn. The ghost right there. U-turn, go forward, click on the one on the moon column right there. Okay. Turn left, enter the conservatory. Down the stairs, click on the ghost side James plaque stand. And then go back up the stairs, click the ghost on the right of the door. This turn is hell. Come on, go, 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 go. Okay, leave the conservatory, go to the middle of the Great Hall, turn toward the main stairs, and ghost on the left stair post. Go up the stairs, turn right toward Loulou. Go right towards the door with the coat of arms, click on the ghost on the right.
10 down, 3 to go.
Go back towards Loulou, turn left. And we're talking about the one at the Mrs. Drake's door. Okay. Go to Nancy's room, turn around. There's the one right there. Go to the spiral stairs. There should be a ghost next to the switches. Oh, I missed that one. Yeah, there we go.
Ghost number 13.
Nailed it. Okay. Phew. Wow. Give me my prize.
Congratulations, you're one of the few
Bam.
people who have seen the 13
What do we got?
ghosts of Blackmoor Manor. As a reward, I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Facing the green dragon, look to the left and pull below the vase with the tree. Okay.
But a word to the wise, if you're wearing a hat, hang on to it, have fun.
Not sure what that means. But there we are. Okay. Let's set an alarm for a decent hour in the morning.
What is that? Maybe I'd better have a look around.
Pay no attention to the bird behind the curtain. Say goodnight, Gracie.
What's that supposed to mean?
Everyone's sleeping. Go to your room and set your clock.
What time do most people get up around here?
6 a.m.
Bury that, yeah.
Set your clock for 6 a.m. Sweet dreams.
Yeah, there's no sweet dreams when there's fucking, like, chanting happening around here. Like, no one's around, and, let's just go back to bed, shall we? Between the chanting and the weird witch laughter, let's just set an alarm for 8 a.m. 10 might be too early, too late, and 6 is definitely too fucking early as far as I'm concerned, so. The save button, your game has been saved, and then we hit menu, and then we hit exit. There we go. That is our stream for the night. A little later than usual, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But, yeah, so that's the beginning of one of the few games that actually scares me a little bit, and we're gonna see if it keeps doing that. So far, so bad. So yeah, and I say so far so bad because I've had chills down my spine quite a few times at this point. So you know, it's just anyway, yeah, that's our stream for tonight. That'll be all for today. So thank you all for joining us per usual. To do our fun little moment here, I want to start by thanking my subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel and supporting the channel the way that you do. I keep hiccuping. Good timing. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, please hit that subscribe button down below. It definitely helps me out a lot. I would also like to thank my followers for the support that they're able to give as well. If you hit that follow button, you will be notified when I go live. If you want to be notified ahead of time, you can follow me at BOSTrophyWife on Instagram and on Twitter. Or on Twitter, I guess. Either or. Or. There we go. That way you'll get a notification usually the day of telling you what game I'm going to be playing that day. I also post in my Discord. The link is right here, but that's also a great place where we have fun memes and a nice little community. So and we talk about games that we're going to play in the future, including some polls in case there are games that I'm trying to decide between. So if you want to have a say in what games we play next, that is the best place to do it. Go ahead and feel free to join that, and we would be happy to have you. I do also have a stream archive over at YouTube. It is currently a little bit out of date. I'm going to be working on getting that up this week when I have a little bit of time. So check that out if you want to see, for instance, my first streams, which were all the Nancy Drew series, and see what I thought about it back then compared to what I thought about it right now. I'm doing the tier list for the first time, so that's kind of new, but that was definitely a fun adventure and a good way to start the stream. So if you want to just check out what I did back then compared to now, feel free. You also get to see the different games that I've played and different stuff that we've done. If that gives you any ideas of what I should play in the future, let me know. And then I do also have a tip jar on Ko-fi. I don't know how to say it ever. Right there, if you go ahead and click on that, that is kind of just a little tip jar that is just whatever you feel like giving. If you are already a subscriber and you like to throw me a couple of extra bucks, or if you can't subscribe at this time but want to throw me a couple extra bucks anyway, that is the best place to do it. So thank you all for joining tonight as we finished up Secret of Shadow Ranch and then got started on Curse of Blackmoor Manor. So it's definitely an interesting, fun time with these two games. Having a great time so far, really enjoying this. Very much looking forward to continuing Blackmoor Manor on Thursday. So I will very much look forward to all of you being there, hopefully, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. Until then, have a great couple of days, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Mwah.